Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I went on a 1-hour walk today, and believe it or not, that's in this heat around here, it gets up to about 100 degrees, but that's a muggy 100 degrees in South Georgia. That's the way this works. And so when you go walk, even if you're just walking in the middle of the day, you're soaking wet by the time you get done with a 1-hour walk around here. Well, let's start out with this. This guy is an attorney on Twitter, and he talks about the SEC and the things going on with the Bitcoin ETF approvals all the time. He says Jake Chervinsky, the SEC has its next deadline to approve, deny, or delay the Bitwise and VanEck Bitcoin ETF proposals on this Wednesday, August 14th. And next Monday, August 19th, respectively. My guess on the probabilities of both. Delay 90%, denial 9.9%, approval 0.1%. And then I agree with this guy. He says the SEC is a joke, 100% stupid. That's exactly right. These people, I do not understand. I really do understand the world they live in. The world they live in, most of the people that work in these government offices have never worked in the private sector. They've never really had to be down in the trenches and fight to make a living and provide for our families the way that we do. They're literally on the government dole, and everything is hunky-dory and great benefits and no worries as long as you show up and you're at work from 8 in the morning until probably 4 in the afternoon, and then you go home. And you're not really affected by the things that the rest of us are affected by. And so what do you care if you delay it a little bit longer? That's the world these people live in, folks. Unfortunately, it's called a government worker. And then we got this. I mean, the economic and just geopolitical things going on around the world are getting really scary really fast. We were seeing the Hong Kong protests in the airport, and now they've got videos. This is a video of literally a caravan of soldiers, I guess. Videos of China's armed police being assembling in Shenzhen, a city bordering Hong Kong, are circulated online today. I think it's a clear warning to the rioters in Hong Kong. Possibility of Beijing intervening in Hong Kong situation is rising. Woo, that could get interesting. Next, from the crypto lark. Russia dumped 85% of their U.S. bonds and bought 275 tons of gold in the last year. Only a matter of time before countries start piling in, I guess. We saw the threat from China this last week about how dumping their U.S. treasuries was always an option for them in this trade war. Let's see next. Michelle Vandenberg at MBDB01 sent me this. From Cryptopolis_X, the Dow is down 0.75%, 198 points. Well, actually now it's down 397. MGI MoneyGram is up 8.23%. Do you see what's happening here? Ripple's deal with MoneyGram will be bigger than Libra. XRP is the liquidity the world needs. MoneyGram has the pipes. Let it flow, let it flow. And then Lionel came in and showed. I don't think I've talked about the BlockTV news before, at BlockTV News, but I will give you my thoughts on this. I don't know for a fact. XRP Community Wow BlockTV News actually reported Ripple in a positive light for once. Sounds like people are changing their tune. Can't imagine Bitcoin maxis will be happy about that, but facts are facts when it comes to Ripple and XRP. Well, this is just a thought of mine, and I can't prove it or anything. Let's see how many followers they have. BlockTV has 10.6 thousand followers. Now, they are set up almost like they're a freaking news desk like CNBC or something. And I swear I've seen them And when I saw them, I asked myself the question. I saw them, the people that are on BlockTV, I saw them being interviewed by CNBC. And it was when I bet they had like under 1,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel and a small amount of followers on Twitter as well. And so it makes me believe that this organization has been put together by some powers that be and then they're trying to turn it into a force instead of it become someone, a YouTube channel or something like this becoming a force and then being co-opted by someone. But I don't think that this is a grassroots organization here. I don't think I get the impression that somebody behind the scenes is paying for this. All right, next. This is from our buddy at ECOSSEXRP1 sent me this. This is about the Argentine peso. Election shock in Argentina means the peso has depreciated by more than 20% overnight. Imagine waking up one morning and being 20% poorer. And they say Bitcoin is volatile. On another note, who wants to go with me to Buenos Aires and enjoy some steaks? And they're just talking about how that currency has been obliterated. And then we've got this from Anthony Pompliano. Watch out. The Argentine peso is collapsing, already down 25% against the USD today. Could this be the first of many to be exposed in the currency crisis? Now, folks, this has kind of been a theme of my channel for the last over 15 months or so, and that is that I believe we are entering a perfect storm where all of these central banks have cooked our gooses, and they have set the entire world up for a debt collapse and a currency collapse. And when that happens, where are the best places to be? And I'll tell you, you don't have to answer the question. Precious metals, gold, silver, and digital assets. And in my opinion, if I'm going to have money in any two digital assets, it's going to be XRP and Bitcoin for two different reasons. Bitcoin only because it was the first through the door and has been co-opted by some powerful people. And XRP because it's the greatest digital asset ever created. It's the greatest technologically. Ripple has the greatest group of people that are working on the greatest use case for XRP. All the stars are aligned for these two digital assets and gold and silver with the way all of this economic mess is about to pan out and fall apart. The Dow's down 400 points as I say that. Okay, Jaquita McPhee, MoneyGram Online launches redesigned web platform. This is post the Ripple deal. And then XRP Researcher, he's got a link to his website, which is xrprightnow.com. And he says MoneyGram releases new online platform which will provide a more customer-centric web experience, making it even easier for their customers to send money domestically and internationally to friends and family. So you see that the plan is being put in motion, folks. The plan's being put in motion. And here's what's going to happen. Write it down. Write it down that I said this. All these people, you see everybody online, oh yeah, XRP, the banker's coin and all that. And XRP and Ripple, there's been more FUD on Ripple and XRP since I can remember. And it's because everybody's scared of just how big it is. And at some point, here's the little problem for all these people. At some point, this actual utility is going to begin to show up in XRP's price. And all it's going to take is just one flicker of that, just one flicker, and one of the brilliant people in the community to be able to show you a screenshot and say, see, here's utility, and it's caused the price to go from this to this. And all that it's going to take is for that to be well documented and to be easily seen by the average Joe investor out there. And there will be no coming back from that because you haven't seen speculation. The speculators pile in until once they realize this utility thing is for real and it's actually going to cause the price to go up, even if it's a gradual 1 to 2% a year if they see that that is going to happen over time. And it's a proven factor. Game on, game on. Okay, and next I want to show you this from Stuart XRP. He found another great video. This is from Saudi Arabia, and these are apparently bankers because this guy's the one doing the talking on the stage. And he basically, he tells the audience, he says, look, we're using Ripple. We're not using XRP. And then he says, yet. We're not using XRP yet. And this is from the 9th of May of 2018. And it's just kind of like, well, I think what we've heard, which executive at Ripple was it? But I think it may have been Dilip Rao. But he said the plan is we get them on X current, and then after a while, over time, we'll make the switch to XRP, and we'll do it, you know, as the regulatory certainty in every different area comes online and all of that. But, and you also have to factor in the MoneyGram being a potential workaround for banks. Okay, but that's a great video to watch. Go to @Stuart_XRP to go see it. Then David Guk Stein, he's a definite follow. He puts out some good tweets. Welcome newcomers to the space. Here's some quick hits. Bitcoin is nothing more than a store of value right now. Basically save it and don't spend it. Banks aren't going to disappear. They will adapt and use blockchain technology. Ripple's XRapid product along with XRP. Well, he's exactly right in both of those things he said. There's only one other thing that I would like to add. Bitcoin, all of the Bitcoin people, and they know this, all the Bitcoin people claim it's a store of value. Yes, Ripple is going to, or XRP is going to be like a bridge currency, and it'll be used in XRapid, and it'll be used by banks to move money around. But XRP is still is also a better store of value than Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. I have Bitcoin on a Ledger Nano S, and I have XRP on a Ledger Nano S. Do you know what the only difference between those two that are sitting on my Ledger Nano S? I can store as much value in either one on those Ledger Nano S's as the other. You know what the only difference is? The only difference is one thing and one thing only. When it comes time to get those digital assets off of those Ledger Nano S's, that XRP is going to move in somewhere in the 3 to 5 second range onto the exchange to sell and get money out of it. That Bitcoin could take anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours. And if the market is really going crazy, which most likely if I was going to be sending it to an exchange, the market is going to be going crazy, then that Bitcoin could be held up for a couple hours, 4 hours even. So that's the difference. And that's the reason that I am such a big XRP guy versus Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is ultimately just a marketing, it's marketing. It's pure marketing is what Bitcoin is. XRP is also value. It's the internet of value. Okay. And next, Stuart XRP. This poor Charlie Lee guy has opened up a can of worms. The Litecoin community is getting pummeled right now because people are digging up things this guy has said. First thing you need to know if you're ever considering buying Litecoin is that Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin, did announce that he had dumped all of his Litecoin back, I think during the 2017 run-up. He calls his own creation Litecoin a shitcoin. He doesn't have any respect for you Litecoin holders. And this is a tweet from him. Before you buy any other coin, Litecoin included, try to own at least one Bitcoin first. Once you have one Bitcoin, buy all the shit coins you want. So it includes Litecoin in that group, I guess. Okay, now this picture right here needed to be shown from Stansbury Research. Safe havens gain appeal as risks to global outlook rise. And this is a bunch of, you're about to see a lot more of these worried guys on the stock exchanges as the months unfold here, I believe. And then everybody, especially you young people out there, everybody needs to go watch this. This is at CNBC from their Twitter handle. This is NBA legend Shaq is providing free financial advice just by using a piece of paper. And I'll tell you what Shaq does, but you need to he's a funny guy. You need to let him go. You need to go watch him do it. He holds up a piece of paper. He says, you want to know how to get wealthy? He holds up a piece of paper. He says, this represents $100. He says, just hypothetically, this is $100 that you've just made. He tears the sheet of paper in half. He takes that. He says this represents 50 of those dollars, and he says, I'm setting those aside. I'm saving those. He goes, that is what the wealthy do and did. Okay, so of every $100, so of every dollar you earn, you save 50 cents before you do anything. And then he takes the other half of that sheet of paper, and he tears it in half, and he said, the really wealthy people, what they do is they then turn around and also save this other fourth of this money. So out of every 100, they're saving $75. And then he takes that last square and he holds it up. He says, this is $25. He goes, this is the money that you buy all the toys with and you have your fun with. And you go and you have drinks with, and you go and you spend money going out to dinner and buying jewelry and all of those things. This is the money that you used for that. Save 75%. He said, in other words, his whole point is the smartest people in the world, there are old sayings about this. The old saying goes, pay yourself first. And most people never do get that thing. Pay yourself first. Set it aside in a place that is least likely for you to be able to go get to it. That's why IRAs and things like that come in handy, because you're less likely to go and take the money out. But he says, set it aside first, and where you're not going to touch it. And then once you do that, then you worry about paying for the things you're going to pay for. Okay, and finally, Billionaire Mindset. No one cares about your degree when you're driving a Lamborghini. That is exactly right. I can't tell you how many people I know who do well for themselves, and or they appear. Let me rephrase that. They appear that they're doing well when they're actually just buying expensive cars on credit and all of that. And a lot of people see those people and they admire those people. When the truth of the matter is, many of those people, when they get into their 60s and 70s, are not going to have a pot to pee in, because they focused on the stupid things, which is trying to impress other people with what it looks like they have, and they failed to do what Shaquille O'Neal just said, which is to save as much of your money as you can as you go along. That is what the smart person does. They do not go out and try to impress their friends with all the biggest toys and the biggest house and all that stuff, because unless you're paying for it with cash now, if you're buying real estate with cash, that's different. If you're in that kind of a place. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family. If you can't save 75% of every dollar you earn, which many people can't, in a worst case, you need to set aside 10 to 20% of every dollar you earn, and then worry about bills and all that other stuff. Thank you for listening.